Okay, well, thank you very much, kaibigan, mga countrymen, friends here in Malaysia as well as in the Philippines and elsewhere. All overseas Filipino workers, I would like to welcome you. Ito po, si Nico Fabian, dito po sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Today is March 13 and of course, it's a beautiful Thursday morning. And beautiful and very sad Thursday morning. It is because the President of the Philippines, or my President, has been turned over to the custody of this ICC or International Criminal Court in Netherlands yesterday. So I will be touching more today on what is the latest updates of the former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po. No? He was arrested in Manila and now he's already in Netherlands and being detained in the ICC or International Criminal Court Detention Center in Netherlands. What's the latest? I will give you the latest news about this issue po. But again, I noticed and it is already viral in social media platform in the Philippines and elsewhere po that many Filipinos are not happy with the happenings in Manila and they keep on saying or they repeatedly claim that this thing should have been prevented if only President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. ordered the stop of the arrest of the GOM or former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. But it is very impossible knowing the fact that Marcoses and the Dutertes are not in good terms now. And of course, with the coming of the midterm election in the Philippines, scheduled on May 12th, definitely po, this maneuvering, this extending assistance to the ICC is another political strategy of the enemies of the Dutertes. Ito po ang feelings at sentimento ng mga tao po dyan sa Pilipinas po and also dito po sa Malaysia. I am now in Kuala Lumpur and reporting or doing this blogging po, dedicated and designed to all my fellow countrymen, not only in Malaysia, particularly in Sabah. Sabah is Malaysia, and very specific in Kota Kinabalu po. No? Mga countrymen ko po, it is my wish, my intention to update my countrymen, fellow Filipinos, on the latest updates of what is happening in the Philippines through or via my Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Alright. Also dedicated to all the Filipinos in the Philippines as well as overseas Filipino workers in Malaysia and elsewhere abroad po. And of course, let us not forget, or I will not forget also, to include all the senior citizens and super senior citizens, Filipinos, senior citizens, and of course, the sick and the pregnant. This program is dedicated to all of you po. I hope in one way or the other, I'll manage to give you the important information on the latest activities or maneuvering dyan po sa Pilipinas, especially on the issue of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, who was arrested and brought to Netherlands last Wednesday po. Last Wednesday. The incident, the arrest was carried out last Tuesday, and he flew. He was brought to Netherlands from Manila to Dubai to Netherlands, and now he is already there and being detained in the ICC Detention Center. Now, to start with this program, I would like to share with you po. First thing first po, the official report or media report reported in the Philippines about about the arrival of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte dyan po sa Netherlands. Let's listen and watch this video clippings or footage that I have prepared for all of you. You hold on, eh? Hold on. Okay. I will share this thing to you and to make it official so that people will not say that I am doing fake news. Fake news. Anyway, nandito po. Let's listen to this report and from here, we will start our program. We will start our program about the issue of Duterte being arrested and now in Netherlands. Let's listen to this report. Hold on for a while. Let me fix this properly. I'll give you a full screen. You hold on. Okay, let's listen to this report.
Pavita, ngayon, dumating na sa Rotterdam, Netherlands, si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte alas 11:54 kagabi, Philippine time, para harapin ang kasong crime against humanity na isinampa ng International Criminal Court o ICC. Ayon sa ICC guidelines, kukunin ng Judicial Cooperation Division ang kustodiya ni Duterte sa tulong ng pulisya ng The Netherlands bago siya dalhin sa ICC detention facility sa The Hague para sa medical check-up at booking procedure. Bago lumapag sa The Netherlands, nag-post ang dating Pangulo sa kanyang social media account ng isang video kung saan sinabi niyang nasa maayos siyang kalagayan at handa umano siyang harapin ang kanyang mga nagawa sa nakaraan.
My countrymen, just to give you the current situation, I am about to land sa gate. Galing ako Dubai. Stopover. It's a long flight. Okay lang. Unang tuloy. And I think this is something to do with the law and order. At sinasabi ko naman sa mga polis, military na trabaho kayo. Ako ang managot. So ito na nga. For all the whatever happened in the past, ako na yung front sa ating law enforcement at military. Sinabi ko na I will protect you. I will. Ako ang managot sa. This will be a long legal proceedings. But they say to you, I will continue to serve the country.
Pagkalapag ng sinasakyang eroplano sa The Hague Airport, agad na idiniretso si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa The Hague Penitentiary Institution o Scheveningen Prison bandang alas 7:34 ng gabi sa Netherlands o bandang alas 2:34 ng umaga oras sa Pilipinas. Sa labas ng kulungan, may ilang mga Pilipinong nag-aabang sa dating Pangulo at nagpakita ng suporta habang pumapasok ang convoy nito sa pasilidad. Samantala, lumapag naman si Vice President Sara Duterte sa Amsterdam Schiphol Airport bandang alas 8 ng gabi sa Amsterdam o alas 3 ng madaling araw naman oras sa Pilipinas. Ayon sa Office of the Vice President, Makikipagpulong si VP Sara sa mga abogado at sisigaping makakuha ng access kay dating Pangulong Duterte sa The Hague.
Okay, yun po ang report about si Rodrigo Roa Duterte dyan po sa Netherlands. Shoutout muna tayo kay Antonio Roa Valdez, who is also watching my program today. I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to Tony Roa Valdez. And God bless you, God bless your wife, God bless your family, and God bless Zamboanga po. Si Tony Roa Valdez is watching my program from Zamboanga City. Kumusta kayo? Okay lang. I hope everything is okay with you and your family, Brad Tony. Huh? Okay, let's move on sa programa natin po about mga updates, latest developments regarding ang istorya ni former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Maingay ang Pilipinas ngayon po, and we don't know, we don't know what will happening today, tomorrow, or next week po regarding itong issue na detention of Digong, Digong, the former president of the Philippines. Anyway, another footage that I would like to share with you is a scene po. The scenario, the scene during the time when the authorities, local authorities in Netherlands brought our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po dyan po sa detention facility po, no? Detention facility. So, ang dami mga Filipinos po, no? Who waited for his arrival po, no? And they were not happy, and they were shouting. Duterte, Duterte, Duterte. And at the same time, you can hear from them, they sang the Philippine National Anthem po, ang Philippine National Anthem, and at the same time, they were shouting, bring back Duterte home. Yun po. So, I will share with you this footage po. I will share with you this footage, and nandito na po. Let's listen and watch itong footage po. Hold on. Siguro mag-full screen din ako sa inyo, no? Hold on. Ito po, I managed to get the footage po, para at least you will be able to see what really transpired doon po sa Netherlands. that's it. Yan ang footage that I wanted to share with you po. So at least you will be able to see ano talaga nangyari po dyan sa, sabihin natin na Netherlands when the local authorities po, no? Mga police in Netherlands sabihin natin ICC Detention Center. Ang daming mga Filipinos and upon arrival of Digong or Duterte dyan po sa Netherlands the other day, yesterday, no? He was met dyan sa airport po by a lot of Filipinos supporting Duterte and sympathizing Duterte of what happened to him, and he was flew to Netherlands because of this case sa ICC. No? And a lot of them were shouting at Duterte, and at the same time they were saying that bring back home Duterte. Bring back home Duterte po. And not only sa Pilipinas, maingay po, sa iba-ibang nation din, even dito sa Malaysia po, maingay din ang mga Filipino because they're not happy of what really transpired, of what really happened. What happened to former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po. A lot of Filipinos still believe that what he did during his 6-year term as the chief executive of the country or president po, especially on the war against drugs, was good for the Filipino community. But the problem is for yung mga mayaman po, medyo they are also badly affected po, for reasons only known to them or some are very obvious sa atin po. And this is really what happened po, what happened dyan sa Pilipinas. And until now, we don't know what will happen po today, tomorrow, or the following day. Mayroon din mga istorya po. Some people were saying or putting up sa social media platform, in their posting po, in the social media platform, some were saying it's about time that people should go out in the street and protest the kind of leadership Bongbong Marcos is managing the country po, managing the country. Now, I hope and pray that, everything will be solved as soon as possible po, and we will not be climbing to the climax, to the point that there will be another mass gathering dyan po sa Pilipinas, because whether we like it or not, even during the breaking news of the arrest of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po, whether we like it or not, may impact na yan po sa economy ng Pilipinas po, no? Filipinas. And you will see, if this kind of situation will prolong, I don't think so foreign investors will come in and invest in the Philippines. Then who will suffer? It is us who will suffer because of a leader who cannot be trusted. Yan po, sabi ang mga karamihan ng mga Filipino po. Bongbong Marcos cannot be trusted. Sabi nga sa mga media posting na it could have been stopped, bringing Duterte to Netherlands po, if and only if Bongbong Marcos gave an order to the police not to push through ang arrest ni Digong. According to Bongbong Marcos, he's just doing his part, and everything was done legally when Digong was arrested. Was arrested. Few years ago, last year, and few months ago, or few weeks ago also po, the president keep on saying that there is no jurisdiction ang ICC dito po o dyan po sa Pilipinas. But unfortunately, as the day goes nearer to the election and as the hit between Duterte and Marcos became hotter, nakita natin po si President Bongbong Marcos po slowly change his tone regarding ang stand ng Pilipinas when it comes to the ICC probe and the possibility of being arrested si Digong po. Si Digong. Ano ba ito? This is politically motivated? Ano ba ito? Is this one of the plans also for Digong not to be a mayor of Davao again? And it will pave way for Nograles to be the next mayor of Davao. I don't think so po. It will happen po. I don't think so. Kaya sabi ang COMELEC, even though si Duterte is nasa Netherlands po, but his votes in the election will be counted po. Will be counted. If he wins in the election come May 12 as a mayor, then he can operate as a mayor po, even though he's in Netherlands facing a case by the ICC po. Most likely, nakikita natin po, baka mag-step down din after the election, mag-step down din si Digong to pave way for Baste, because vice mayor si Baste, in the event Digong, which is likely he will win, and vice mayor, very positive, most likely very high possibility that Baste will also win as vice mayor. So if Digong will step down, automatic si Baste will take the place as the elected mayor or a mayor of Davao City po. Yun ang sabi ang COMELEC, na counted pa rin din po ang boto ni Digong sa May 12 midterm election. Ashley, good morning to you. And thank you very much for watching this program, ang Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Once again, I would like to share with you ang message ni Digong po, message ni Digong or PRRD when he arrived in Netherlands last night, ito po, shortly after 11 o'clock. Let's listen again po. Although kanina sa news report, I already shared with you ang message ni Digong, but anyway, for the sake of those who just tune in po, let's listen to the message of Digong which he gave upon arrival at the Netherlands last night. Let's listen to this. I'll give you a full screen again. Hold on. I'll give you a full screen. Hold on. Alright. Sandali. Hold on. Alright.
My countrymen, just to give you the current situation, I am about to land sa Hague. Galing ako Dubai. Stopover or sa long haul, sa long flight. Okay ako. Doon ang touring. And I think this is something to do with the law and order law. At sinasabi ko naman sa mga pulis, military na trabaho kayo at ako ang managot. So ito na nga, for all of the whatever happened in the past, ako na yung nag-front sa ating law enforcement pati military. Sinabi ko na I will protect you. Ako ang managot sa lahat. This will be a long legal proceedings. But I say to you, I will continue to serve my country
Okay, that's it. That's the message of PRRD po when he arrived at the Netherlands po last night. Last night. Alright, cool lang tayo po. No? Let's see what will happen next. After all, the daughter, ang Vice President natin of the Philippines, si Inday Sara Duterte, no? Inday Sara Duterte, who is the daughter of PRRD, as well as ang son niya, si Congressman Puloy, as well as si Mayor Baste Duterte po, they went to Netherlands. I was made to understand even Harry Roque, the former spokesperson of Duterte, Attorney Harry Roque, is going to Netherlands, no? Netherlands to pay a visit to Duterte and see what they can help in the pre-trial of PRRD dyan po sa ICC or International Criminal Court. And sino po? I was also made to understand the former Labor Secretary, si Bello, Secretary Bello, also will be going to Netherlands and see, because he's one of the lawyers din po, no? Ni Duterte. And he was not happy with what happened during the arrest, no? Because they were not allowed. The police authorities did not allow them to go and see their client po, which is the right. My right yun po. My right yun po si Duterte for a legal counsel to be with him. And of course, for to do some medical checkup po. Dahil from Hong Kong, one of the reasons why he decided or he came back to Manila po or to the Philippines po, because the following day he will be undergoing a routine medical or general medical checkup. But it did not happen because upon his arrival in the morning, he was arrested na po. No? And instead of bringing him to Camp Crame, may plano na pala yun po, bring him to Villamor Air Base dahil po may plano na nandun na po ang jet to bring Duterte to Netherlands. Although it happened, the jet or the aircraft left the Philippines towards midnight na po, no? Towards midnight na po. And yun na po. Now, the president or former president is no longer in the Philippines. Rather, he is down in Netherlands. Netherlands po. To face ang charges po dyan po. And of course, it will take a long procedure po that let's see what will happen, and we will continue to monitor po. While hoping for the best and not for the worst, it was also reported since yesterday and hanggang ngayon po na mayroon din mga supporters grupo ni Duterte, both supporters ni former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte as well as the supporter of Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Likewise, ang mga supporters ng PDP Laban, PDP Laban na party po, they already started doing the prayer rally since yesterday, since last night. Sa Zamboanga po, mayroon din. I saw some footage sa Zamboanga wherein si Congressman for District 1, si Kimer Olaso, also present in the prayer rally po last night dyan po sa Zamboanga. Sa Zamboanga. And not only in Zamboanga, a lot of places din po, they organize prayer rally for PRRD. Now, let me share with you a footage po on this prayer rally po. Prayer rally. Sana yung prayer rally. 256. I will see. Meron ba tayo dito? Prayer rally 256. Hold on. Aha. Ano ba ito? Let me show you. Ito po. Itong report sa Pilipinas po. Hold on. Hold on,
Montalvo. Will, anong update dyan?
Julius, nagpapatuloy ay sinagawang prayer vigil at lighting activity dito sa Rizal Park, Davao City para sa pagsuporta kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Mas kalmado na din ang emosyon ngayon ng mga Davaoenyo at taga-suporta ng dating Pangulo kumpara sa naging sitwasyon kahapon sa pag-aresto sa kanya. Bilang pagkundina sa pag-aresto kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, nagtipon-tipon ang mga taga-suporta ng dating presidente sa Rizal Park dito sa Davao City. Marami sa kanila galing pa sa iba't ibang probinsya sa Mindanao. Si Nanay Leticia nanikip daw ang dibdib ng malamang inaresto si Duterte.
Murag dahil ako naiiyak ako. Bakit siya kukunin? Mabuting tao naman si Tigo.
Maayo man kung siya. Ang mag-asawang Foscablo bumiyahe pa mula Sultan Kudarat. Stand for Tatay Tigo.
We believe in him. Sana okay na ito lahat. Panindigan siya. Tsaka sana healthy siya doon. Walang mangyaring masama.
Nasa protesta rin ang mga lokal na opisyal at empleyado ng lungsod. Bukod dyan, nagsagawa rin ng motorcade ang ilang Duterte supporters sa mga kalsada sa Davao. Pati sa Tagum City, nagtipon ang mga taga-suporta. Pinunit ang t-shirt ng Uniteam sa kasinunog ang bahagi na may mukha ni Pangulong Marcos. Pero hindi lang mga Davaoenyo ang nagpakita ng suporta. Ang mga Cebuano, idinaan sa noise barrage ng motorcade ang pagkundina nila sa pag-aresto kay Duterte. Nag-umpisa ang parada sa Cebu City at natapos sa Mandawi na inabot ng 1:00 ng madaling araw. Halos mapuno naman ang Cotabato City Plaza sa isinagawang prayer rally. Isang prayer vigil din ang isinagawa sa Capitol Grounds ng Dumaguete City. Gayon din sa San Francisco sa probinsya ng Agusan del Sur. Habang sa Pasay, sumugod sa Gate 5 ng Villamor ang supporters ni Duterte. Sa sobrang galit, sinira nila ang mga harang na bakal. Naharang naman agad sila ng mga pulis. Julius, inorganisa itong nasabing pagtitipon ng mga barangay kapitana sa ikalawang distrito ng lungsod. Panawagan nila dito na ibalik na sa bansa si Digong. Sa likod ko naman ay kasalukuyang nagsisindi ng kandila ang mga Davaoenyo sa harap mismo ng bantayog ni Gat Jose Rezala. Wala pa din kumpirmasyon kung dadalo ba dito sa aktibidad si Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte.
Okay, that's it po. Yan ang mga prayer vigil carried out by the supporters of Duterte since yesterday po. I would like to say, shout out din tayo po kay Milagros Fabian Acejas who is watching my program today. I would like to say thank you very much for watching and God bless you, God bless your husband, and God bless your children. And all the Filipinos dyan po sa London. Dyan sa London. Because this Milagros Fabian Acejas is watching my program from London. Okay? So, yan po ang latest developments natin po regarding ang arrest of our beloved former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po. Kung gusto, may paraan. Kung ayaw, maraming dahilan. Yon po. Nabudol na naman tayo po kay Bongbong Marcos. Bongbong Marcos po. He keep on telling that there is no jurisdiction daw po ang ICC po, and he will not allow ICC to come down to the Philippines and arrest si Digong po. During the campaign period 2022 presidential election po, he keep on saying that thing po. Hanggang nanalo na siya po dahil sa mga Duterte, nanalo siya as president. And after that, slowly po, he still continue on saying na walang jurisdiction. And nag-init na ang ambition nila po. This is a claim by sabihin natin mga supporters ni Duterte. May ambition daw si Bongbong Marcos, which obviously I also see. Ganito po ang sitwasyon na he wants to remain dyan po sa posisyon, no? High position dyan sa Pilipinas po as a president maybe, or maybe another post, ha? He doesn't want to step down anymore po, and maybe preparation for his son, si Congressman Sandro, to be the next president, the next president in the future, as well as ang first cousin niya, si Speaker Martin Romualdez, who is always kuladit po, no? Sa survey, 1%, 0.1% lang po ang supporter is getting in the survey. Sa sa mga Filipinos po, they want si Martin Romualdez wants to be the Prime Minister kung sakali they successfully managed to change ang Constitution po, no? Ang Constitution ng Pilipinas po. Dahil dyan po nagiging vocal si Duterte, naging vocal si Duterte, and keep on saying that let us not allow that these people will change the Constitution po. Remember, yung mga signature campaign ni Romualdez po, no? Ni Romualdez. Signature campaign, people's, clamor po, only to find out na they are already moving for a signature campaign para to say that the Filipinos agree or wants to change the Constitution po, parliamentary form of government po, no? And then Romualdez will be the Prime Minister. Nabisto ngayon sila, and dyan na po, umpisa na po ang problema, ang away between Duterte and the Marcos. Walang utang na loob, karamihan ng mga tao, mga Filipino po, not only in the Philippines, but also dito po sa Malaysia, because I carried out my own survey pa, no? In fact, when I arrived here yesterday, the other day, I arrived in Kuala Lumpur. I met some Filipinos dito po, and I was asking them, so anong say ninyo po tungkol what happened to Duterte? No? What happened to Digong? Now, they're not happy po, no? They're really disappointed and not happy, and praying that Duterte will return back to the Philippines po, no? To the Philippines, kasi yon po ang gusto ng mga Filipinos dito. Malaysia is a Duterte country po. Malaysia is a Duterte country. Don't forget that po. All the elections since 2016 hanggang 2022 po, ang Filipinos in Malaysia, they really supported Duterte and the candidates of Duterte. The candidates of Duterte. Yan po ang realidad when it comes to Malaysia po, no? Paano? And of course, let's not forget that many of the Malaysians po, since Duterte became the president of the Philippines in 2016, karamihan po, my friends and those I met and I asked, they salute the style of leadership ni Digong po, no? Ni Digong. I don't know. Now it changed already po. Itong si Marcos, walang utang na loob. Sabi ang mga tao po, majority of the Filipinos, dito po sa Malaysia. And I suppose, parehas din dyan po, dyan sa Pilipinas, no? Sa Pilipinas, ang sentiment ng mga Filipinos kontra kay Bongbong Marcos. Kontra kay Bongbong Marcos. And of course, so nakita natin po, nag-warn na ang China. May comments na si President Trump regarding itong issue ni PRRD. Sana po, magising na po si Bongbong Marcos. What is happening to you? Tapos na yan, ambisyon mo. Yan ang sigaw ng mga Pilipino. Yan ang sigaw ng Pilipino. But anyway, let me show you another footage po. And this time around, ito po, komentaryo or reaction, ang favorite or idol ko po pagdating sa media sa Pilipinas po. No other than ang TV host dati po, public service, si Ted Filon. Let's listen to this footage that I recorded po. Galing kay Ted Filon. Galing kay Ted Filon. Hold on, galing kay Ted Filon. Sana yan si Ted Filon. Let's listen. Mayroon ba tayo dito kay Ted Filon? Nandito po. Hold on. Ted Filon, how long is this? Sandali lang kita po. So, hold on, you listen to this.
Ang desisyon niyan, definitely.
Hold on. Nandito po. Let's listen to Ted Filon.
Ang desisyon niyan, definitely po, ay nanggaling sa Presidente. Desisyon na, ililipad mo ba yung dating Presidente matapos lumabas yung arrest warrant galing daw sa ICC. Kumbaga, baby girl, the die is cast na naman, di ba? So, ang
Naitaganan pa to.
kumbaga sa wikang Latin, alea diacta est. Ano ibig sabihin nun? The die is cast, no turning back. Nagdesisyon ka na. Well, the fact na, di ba, inaresto, yun na yung simula. Alright? And then, pagkatapos, yung nga po, nandun na po, in transit sila. So, kung umalis na 11:03, it's about 8 hours flight to Dubai. Para daw pong layover doon for refueling. And then, so kung 8 hours na, subukan natin. Baka naman na sumagot na si former ES Medaldea at ating mga kapanayam at makuha po ang development dito. And then from Dubai, ang inaasahan dyan, hindi na po papapa ng aeroplano at mag-refuel lamang at didiretso na po dito po sa the Netherlands. Malamang ang landing nito, hindi po sa Schiphol ba yun, na airport sa Amsterdam, kundi dyan sa Rotterdam na airport po sila. Lalapag pinakamalapit doon mismo po sa ICC na ito sa The Hague, the Netherlands. And mga kapatid, nasa atin naman linya ngayon para natin malaman ano ba ang kanila pong next move dito. At kagabi po, meron po kasi nilabas na press release kahapon kagabi ang Supreme Court late in the afternoon, kaya marami nag-aabang na po. Malamang makakuha ng TRO. Sila Senator Paco de la Rosa at sila Atty. Torion na naghain ng petition for certiorari, kumbaga tine-question nila itong galaw na ito ng gobyerno. And then, prayer for TRO. So ngayon po, lalabas na academic na. Lalabas na moot na yung TRO kasi yung
Wala na silbi.
yung pinipigilan ninyo, nangyari na eh. Pero yung kaso po doon sa pag-question o sa pag-aresto, alagay ko bubuhay pa yun. Pero yun nga, kung kahapon po ay naglabas ng TRO ang Supreme Court, hindi po mangyayari ito. Pero hindi natin din-question yun. Yan po ay desisyon ng ating pong mga maestrado. Ang sabi ng Supreme Court, di ba? Dahil daw po ito'y napaka-importante, nagsabi po si Supreme Court Chief Justice Esmundo na magkaroon ng special raffle sa kung sinong maestrado po ang mahahawak sa kaso. Wala pong binanggit kung sino.
Alright, yun po ang video clip ni Ted Filon saying something, reacting to the incidente po, o not incidente. Itong what happened dyan po sa Manila, ang arrest warrant, o ang arrest ni Digong, issued, ang warrant of arrest issued by the ICC po upon arrival from Hong Kong, dyan po sa NIA or Ninoy International Airport po, no? Airport si Digong. Ngayon, si PRD nasa Netherlands po and nandyan na po, it was a turnover dyan na po sa detention center ng ICC. And mag-umpisa na ang proseso po, no? But it will take time, And nandyan na po, as what I said, pumunta na dyan ng si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, ang anak niya si Congressman Polong Duterte, si Mayor ng Davao, si Baste Duterte po, and other lawyers ni Digong po. And nakita natin po ang mga reaction, comments coming from different countries, leaders ng different countries po, and the majority of them, sila po, disappointed or not happy with the arrest of Digong, And Bongbong Marcos po, masaya na ba siya ngayon? Let's see po sa election po. Kaya nga, kailangan po. Kaya sabi ni Inday Sara Duterte, no? Inday Sara Duterte, let us vote straight na talaga ngayon po. Mas lalo na ang sympathy nandyan po sa mga Duterte po, sa mga kandidato ng PDP laban. Vote straight para malaman na. Ha? Para malaman na po, no? Ang next move na naman ng Pilipinas. To save the Philippines, the only thing is, we should do is vote straight and make sure that the election will not be repeated. Will not be, the cheating in the election will not be repeated po. Remember, during the time of Marcos Sr. po, he was removed from the office as a president po, no? Nag-umpisa yun po sa election po. Yan rin sabi niya, nanalo siya eh. And ang mga Filipinos, they do not agree that there was that nanalo si Marcos, and dyan na po na umpisa na ang people's power. Kagaya ni Digong, sabi ni Digong or PRRD noon, he repeated it how many times, if Bongbong Marcos will not change, will not do something, he will face the same fate na nangyari sa tatay na si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Ousted or he was removed from the palace or from Malacanang po. From Malacanang. So let's see po what will happen. Kulang tayo po. Let's continue to pray and protect our country po, and let's not do something that we will suffer. Ang country natin, ng mga Filipinos will suffer po. We will do our things according to the law of the land, according to the law of God. God is with us. God is with us. And let's do what we are supposed to do po. To protect si Digong, to protect our country, to protect our children and the generations and generations to come po. Yon. That's the best thing that we can do now. Now, another question is, saan daw si Bato de la Rosa? Senator Bato de la Rosa. Because when you talk about warrant of arrest to Digong, automatic na nandun ang pangalan ni Bato de la Rosa, Senator Bato de la Rosa. Saan daw siya po? People were saying, nagtago na ba si Bato de la Rosa? Okay. Let's listen to this news report po dyan sa Pilipinas. And you will know kung nasaan na si Senator Bato de la Rosa. Hold on, Hold on. Okay, sandali. For those who still don't know what happened to Bato de la Rosa during the arrest warrant served to Digong, nandito po ang sagot po. Hold on.
Motion for certiorari.
Hold on. Okay, mag-full screen na lang siguro tayo, no? Full screen tayo. Let's see kung kaya natin mag-full screen ito. Hold on, Alright.
Magandang gabi sa iyo, Cheryl. Nakausap ko si Senator Bato de la Rosa bandang alas 5:30 ngayong hapon. Tinawagan ko siya at sumagot siya sa ating tawag. Una, nagpaliwanag siya sa atin. Bakit nga ba hindi siya makontak in the past days, specifically kahapon, cannot be reached yung kanyang phone? Sabi niya, hindi dahil nagtatago siya. Nagpatay talaga siya ng telepono dahil siya pala ang naatasan na umasikaso ng motion for certiorari na inihain sa Korte Suprema. Oras na nalaman nila nitong weekend na meron ng arrest warrant ang ICC laban kay dating Pangulong Duterte, ay nagpaiwan siya. Kasama pala siya dapat dun sa flight papuntang Hong Kong. Pero sabi niya, maiwan na siya para makipag-coordinate siya dun sa mga lawyers, madaliin at matapos itong mahabang petisyon na ito at maihain nga kahapon itong nasabing petisyon na ito, Cheryl. At ang sinasabi niya, hindi siya nagtatago. Sa katunayan, nasa may Mindanao area daw siya at katatapos lamang niya na mangampanya sa may bandang Surigao. Cheryl.
Nakawanan mo ba ng reaksyon mayan si Senator Bato sa naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema?
Ang
sinasabi naman nila, meron pa namang pagkakataon na sumagot. So hoping pa sila na hindi basta dito natatapos yung sa junking o yung at least yung hindi pagbibigay ng TRO. Pero ang sinasabi nga niya, awang-awa siya doon sa nangyari kay dating Pangulong Duterte. Tila daw ba excited itong Philippine government na isurrender si Pangulong Duterte sa foreign entity. At ang sinasabi pa niya, flimsy excuse daw. Flimsy excuse on the part of President Bongbong Marcos na sinabi nito na meron tayong responsibilidad na makipagtulungan sa Interpol. Sabi ni Senator Bato, kung tutuusin, pwede daw ni-reject yun ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos para daw sana hindi napaaresto itong si Duterte. Kaya ang sinasabi niya, kung sakasakali, wala siyang impormasyon, Cheryl, kung meron na bang warrant of arrest para sa kanya, akala nga raw nila nitong Sabado yung warrant ay para sa kay Duterte at para sa kanya. But mukhang lumalabas kay dating Pangulong Duterte lang. Pero kung sakali daw na lumabas yung warrant, handa raw siyang magpa-aresto at hindi nga raw siya nagtatago. Cheryl.
Maraming salamat.
Okay, yun po. That's it. Ang latest news regarding si Senator De La Rosa. Handa na siya po. No? In fact, I thought nandiyan may warrant of arrest din siya last Saturday. No? Last Saturday. But wala. Pero sabi niya, don't worry. I'm not hiding. Busy-busy lang ako sa kampanya ko sa Surigao ba yun? Saturday. And yeah. He will not hide, sabi ni Bato or Senator Bato de la Rosa. Okay, for my final footage, I would like to share with you po itong the whole world knows what is happening po. What happened na po kay Digong or PRRD or former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po. No? Everybody knows. And let's listen to this international news report po ng air po sa iba-ibang nation po. Hold on, ha? Hold on. Saan na yun? Ang report. Alright. 602. 602. Let's look for 602. Ito po. Let's listen to this. Ito ang report po. And full screen din tayo ulit. Mag-full screen tayo ulit. Listen to this.
Here are three
Hold on. Alright. Sandali po.
Let's look at Duterte's case right now.
For detention.
Hold on, ha? Okay. I-full screen lang tayo. Sandali lang po.
Let's look at Duterte's case right now.
For detention. And the basis for detention. So, what is the law and what is the crime that I committed?
The ICC has been probing the former president since 2017. He has been accused of committing crimes against humanity in the name of curbing drug dealers. Here are three instances which will give you a sense of what the ICC is looking into. Rodrigo Duterte built his reputation as the quote-unquote punisher while he was the mayor of Davao for more than 20 years. During this on and off tenure, more than 1,000 people were killed, including suspected drug users and dealers.
If you destroy my country, I will kill you. Make no doubt about it. If you destroy the generation of Filipinos coming up to replace us, I will kill you. Simple as that.
His pledge to launch a nationwide crackdown on drug gangs became the feature of his successful presidential campaign in 2016. On his first full day, at least 12 people were killed, ushering in a bloody campaign for the next 6 years. In one of his statements as the president, Duterte said he doesn't care about human rights and issued a shoot-to-kill order against drug dealers.
If you raise the flag of ISIS, that was the time I said, this cannot be done. It has to be stopped. And I'm willing to gamble with Marcelo.
By the end of his term in 2022, the police claimed they had executed 7,000 people. The rights groups put the figure at 30,000. Many of these victims were dumped in garbage sites and open fields. The security personnel were offered immunity from prosecution. An Amnesty International report found that police officers confessed to receiving reward money for every drug suspect they killed.
My order to them was that if they are holding a gun, kill them immediately so there will be one less criminal.
Throughout his presidency, Duterte enjoyed a high approval rating from the public, allowing him to push for his brutal anti-drug war agenda. But his arrest has provoked mixed reactions.
Tama rin yun para yung mga tao nangangailangan na
I think it was a right action because for people who were claiming for justice,
makamit niya rin siya.
for the deaths of their children, to get peace and happiness for those who were killed.
Pagbitbit sa kanya doon sa ibang bansa,
Dragging him outside the country is good as being in prison already.
dahil wala siyang
His rights were removed no matter which sin he has committed.
magiging
He shouldn't have been brought away like that.
pero hindi dapat na sa ibang bansa siya dinala. Dito sa atin,
He should have stayed in the country. We have our course to decide on the case.
Whether right or wrong, let's leave that for the courts to decide. We want to talk about the politics behind it. Remember, earlier I had said that the ICC has jurisdiction over 125 of its members. But that's only on paper. Duterte's arrest was possible not because of this jurisdiction. It was possible because of a narrow set of circumstances that allowed ICC to act. You see, the court cannot carry out arrests on its own. It leaves it at the mercy of the official government. And who's in power in Manila right now? This man, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who has made no qualms about his hatred towards Duterte. The arrest has an uncanny timing. It's an election year in the Philippines and two major political families have had a public fallout. Interestingly, Duterte's daughter, Sara Duterte, is the current vice president and there is an impeachment process ongoing against her. The political rivalry has reached heights unimaginable. At one point, the vice president said, and I'm quoting, she wants to cut Marcos' head off and threaten to dig up his dead father's body and throw it into the ocean. Sara Duterte has now flown to The Hague to assist her father.
there is no legal basis at all to turn over or to endorse the president, the former president of ICC. So, wala silang.
If they're looking for justice, there's no justice here. So while the ICC is lauding its arrest as significant, the truth is that it goes to show how limited the international body's powers are. In practice, the court has little to no ability to go after its suspects, unless it has all pieces in a specific order, like in Philippines right now. There were two other world leaders the ICC had issued arrest warrants against in the past 1 year. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was accused of war crimes in Gaza on November 21st last year. And Russian President Vladimir Putin was accused of war crimes in Ukraine on March 17th, 2023. Why hasn't the ICC been able to move against them? The answer is simple. The ICC's hands are tied. And this is the case in most high-profile arrest warrants. It's just optics at the end of the day. Rodrigo Duterte's arrest may seem like a big win for the ICC, but it only exposes the court's weakness. His detention was driven by Philippines politics, not ICC's power. So it acts when the political landscape allows it. But against world leaders like Russia, the US, China, or Israel, it becomes a toothless entity.
Okay, that's it. Yan po, no? Ang report internationally regarding the issue ni arrest of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. I totally agree po na the arrest of PRRD or Digong or Duterte po only exposes the weakness of ICC po, no? Of ICC. Why? Because if it is not because of President Bongbong Marcos who assisted or extended the helping hands to execute the arrest warrant kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, ICC could have done nothing. Could have done nothing. As what happened sa mga warrant of arrest nila kay Russian leader, si Putin, saka Netanyahu, dyan po sa Israel po. Nothing po. They cannot do anything. They cannot do anything if the government will not cooperate or will not extend assistance sa kanila po to implement or to impose ang warrant of arrest po to a particular residence or citizen po ng country po that they want to arrest. So very clear yun po. For me, it is very clear. It is because of Marcos na ICC managed to execute the warrant of arrest kay Digong po. So, it is very clear and very clear to say that dahil kay Marcos po, Bongbong Marcos, si Digong was arrested and brought to Netherlands. It is not because of the power of the ICC po. That we have to put in our mind. Si Marcos, Bongbong Marcos po. Mayroon siyang selfish motive dyan po. And he sees si Digong at saka mga Dutertes na ano talaga yan po. That is the number one enemy nila po. Kagaya yun noon ba, si Aquino and Marcos po ang tatay niya po. Number one enemy si Ninoy Aquino po. Ngayon, nandito na po. Ang anak na naman ang what is doing po. And similar, it reminds me about the father and Ninoy Aquino. Ninoy Aquino. And now, Bongbong, the son, and Duterte po. So, what shall we do? Let's all pray. Let's all pray po. And I hope everything will be back to normal po. And I hope that the come midterm election po, tama na yan, mga cheating po. And the only way that we can prevent this cheating or any misdoing ng mga opponents po ni Duterte, all we have to do is make sure that straight votes tayo po dyan sa PDP laban candidates. Let's give our full support now. Ngayon po, akala ni Alliance ng Bagong Pilipinas, especially si Bongbong Marcos, akala niya po nakuha niya ang simpatiya ng mga Pilipino, ng mga masses for assisting ang sabihin natin assisting in the execution of the arrest warrant of Duterte po. He assisted dyan po sa ICC. And he is using the Interpol as his reason po why he decided or why Philippines is assisting po ang execution ng warrant of arrest ni Digong. So in the meantime po, siguro hanggang dito na lang tayo. And I hope I managed to give you whatever information updates na you deserve to po. And maski paano, in whatever ways and means, I managed to entertain you during the past few hours or few minutes po, no? Or maybe an hour po, no? During my blogging today, March 13 na po. So, with this, I would like to say once again, thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, let's pray for our country and for the safety and the health of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. God bless us all and see you tomorrow. Bye!